Who is Jose Mourinho? Known as one of the most tenacious managers in history, the Portuguese has become a frequent target of criticism. In today's era, success is often quantified by results, victories, and silverware, which can be stressful for any person. Mourinho, however, is known for his unapologetic self-expression, sharing his emotions with raw honesty.
Because that's my fucking nature.
But today we're going to be learning the Mourinho mentality and understand how he deals with the harsh public criticism.
I deserved a yellow card because I was rude, but I was rude with an idiot.
From the darkness of Portugal in January 1963, the Special One was born.
I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
He emerged highly accountable from a very young age. His father, a professional who wore a cap for the Portuguese national team, influenced Mourinho's love for the sport. He began playing for small clubs before finding his true calling was in managing. Mourinho is not one to be flashy. He always valued the honest truth.
The last time I spoke in Portuguese, I was in trouble.
No, sorry.
Being raw with himself left no insecurities. Take the crowd, for example, a powerful force that can silence any opposition. But with Mourinho, he is never in a steady state throughout one match.
Mourinho has arrived, and he's arrived in style.
His decisions explosive, whether it's reacting to missed goals from players, showing his emotions on the touchline, and even firing up the fans. Mourinho loves to leave an impact, but for the press, Mourinho loves shutting them down.
I can guess that when you were a kid, you were playing badminton. Badminton is a great sport. Badminton is a great sport.
For winning several titles and championships all over Europe, Mourinho does not respect others' sarcastic remarks. His personality is huge, so large and so smart.
I think the press should apologize to me and to him.
The intelligence behind his amusement has earned him praise, staying tactically motivated and always focused on doing his best. Mourinho's rise to fame sparked controversy in every league. When he was managing Chelsea, he famously described Arsene Wenger as a specialist in failure.
Oh, he is a specialist in failure, because 8 years without a piece of silverware, that's failure.
While some found it to be offensive, others found it to be hilarious. His wit is not just reserved for his opponents. As he once said, "I am Jose Mourinho, and I don't change. I arrive, I win, and then I leave. You can call me arrogant if you want, but I'm a European champion, and I think I'm a special one."
He was special, and it's hard to argue it.
Nobody's doing like what some journalists do. When they write bullshit, the next press conference they don't come.
Winning has become Mourinho's pride and goal. Despite his controversial comments, he leaves the truth on the table.
Some care more than others.
Perhaps what sets Mourinho apart from other managers is his sheer determination to win. His personal rivalry with Pep Guardiola is an example to his drive, as the two managers pushed each other to new heights in both La Liga and the Premier League. Of course, Mourinho's success did not come without criticism. He's been accused of being too defensive, too confrontational, and too egotistical. But for those who have worked with him, there's no denying his passion for the game and his ability to get the best out of his players.
We have top players, and I'm sorry, I'm a bit arrogant. We have a top manager.
His amusement reactions are dreadful to any player, but Mourinho also has the power to turn his team around in the dying moments. The raw emotion inside the heart of Mourinho has lifted clubs dramatically.
Let's go to Wembley, come on.
When he began at Porto, he was faced with the challenges of European giants and other Portuguese opponents. In the short span, he managed to win the Premier League twice, a Taça de Portugal, the UEFA Cup, and finally the UEFA Champions League. The trophies so many teams fail to win.
I think boring is 10 years without a title. That's very boring.
It was Porto's first European Cup since 1987. These astounding accomplishments accelerated Mourinho's identity and gave him the confidence to manage any squad. However, despite earning praise with every step he took, he was often faced with criticism.
And what I did, the signal of close your mouth a little bit was not for them.
Who was it for?
For the English press.
Managing the top players from around the world came with a price to pay. There were times Mourinho benched big stars, left them out of training, and even disregarded the press.
He behaves like a clown. I was speaking about myself.
At United, he sent Pogba home after his behavior the previous night. Jose made it clear that he did not care how big of a name you were, where you came from, or how talented you really were. If your decisions held back the team from growing, it would hurt the squad in the long term. Despite the potential drawbacks, there were many benefits to Mourinho's game plan. He took the pressure off the big names from stepping up and brought in more players to the table. However, it was important to note that benching Pogba, who Manchester United had signed for £100 million, was not in their best interest.
But I'm happy that I'm not stupid.
During training sessions, Mourinho loved to keep things friendly. As a part-time comedian himself, he believed in keeping the spirits alive in the hard moments. He often told jokes to players to get a stronger reaction out of them. When Mourinho stepped up in the managing seat, there was always a lot of tension.
Mourinho is a bigger personality.
So, click Google. Instead of make stupid questions, click Google and try to find.
However, he understood that without enjoying the process, it would make it more challenging to win trophies. He loved to bring the attention to himself, shooting him with more adrenaline with each and every match.
You know, I go to London tonight. If tomorrow rains in London, it's my fault.
His success continued when he moved to Chelsea, where he won 2 Premier League titles in 3 years. A mind-blowing start for any manager, as he would often make fun of his rivals and the media during his press conferences.
And I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. 3 for me and 2 for them. Respect, man, respect.
With more success came a stronger character, but he was eventually fired from Chelsea in 2007.
I could write a book, but the book would be not a drama. The book would be a comedy. In Kazan, all my strikers injured. I was really in trouble and Mario was the only one. Mario gets a yellow card. So when I go to the dressing room at halftime, I spend 14 minutes of the 15 speaking only for Mario. Mario, I cannot change you. I cannot make a change. I don't have a striker on the bench. Don't touch anybody. Play only with the ball. Mario, please. Minute 46. Red card.
However, Mourinho's drive to success never faded, and he took a short spell with Inter Milan. When appointed, he won the Serie A in his first season, and only 2 years later he went on to win the treble, winning the Serie A, the Coppa Italia, and the UEFA Champions League.
Can I argue? Thank you. Thank you.
Becoming the 3rd coach in history to ever achieve this feat.
Inter Milan are in the final of the Champions League.
Jose was not the only coach to win the treble with 2 different clubs, a legend that wrote history in Italy, but in 2010 he became the manager of the almighty Real Madrid. In the prime of the rise of Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, Bale, and many others, Madrid became a monster with Mourinho.
Because the game has to be played like that.
His antics off the touchline and his counter-attacking strategy unlocked the mass of his success.
He was a fabulous defensive strategist. He saw games of football as things that you tried not to lose, first of all, before you tried to win them.
When coaching at Madrid, he forced the likes of Real's attack to defend for 90 minutes. The majority of wingers and forwards hated tracking back, but for Mourinho, it was everything. Sometimes he would switch the wingers on one side to get a better matchup. Other times he would change his formation more suited for the counter-attack.
Jose Mourinho's side continue to pinch points and be extremely miserly in defense.
Reading the game was a manager's most crucial role for a team's success, knowing who to bring on, who to take off, and who to leave on. Coaching was a challenge. It wasn't something easy to do. Coaching prime Ronaldo with the addition of Modric and Ramos almost looked impossible, but for Mourinho it was the perfect challenge.
The best judge in football are the supporters.
In 2014, Mourinho made a return to the Premier League with Chelsea, and quickly showed his dominance by winning the Premier League the next season.
This guy must be nuts.
He joined Manchester United in 2016 and won the Europa League the following season.
It's the most important trophy of my career.
It was United's first major trophy since Sir Alex left in 2013.
You seem very emotional.
I'm a bit emotional, yes.
Jose has jumped from club to club all throughout his career, but has never failed to leave an impact.
And I'm telling you that the question is stupid.
Leadership was an important skill Mourinho never overlooked. He believed in himself, but most of all, he had faith in his team.
I control my emotions in a better way.
And even after all of his accomplishments, he could not have done it without the contribution of his players.
I'm his white daddy. He's more than a player for me.
In 2019, Mourinho joined Tottenham Hotspur for one final hurrah in the Premier League. In one memorable instance, he motivated the entire team to change their mentality and beat Manchester City. This game breathed life into the stadium, for the surrounding supporters, and of course the players. It was matches like this that cemented Mourinho as one of the best. He defied the odds and defeated the superior quality of Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. In another moment versus West Ham, Jose Mourinho changed the game once again. It was 0-0 at halftime due to a lackluster effort from the Spurs side, but after his inspirational speech, the team came out firing on all cylinders. In moments of high pressure, the club is expected to perform, and Mourinho knew how to install that confidence inside his players.
And in the end of the game, you are going to be here. It's not after the game, it's during the game.
Being a professional under Mourinho can be a daunting task, but for those with talent and a strong work ethic, it can be the best footballing relationship the world has ever seen. Mourinho has revolutionized the game of football as a manager, and if you want to see more, I made a short story on the rise of the Norwegian monster, Erling Haaland.